Welcome to the Beanz Podcast. We're here with my buddy Joel and Kyle. These are some of the biggest homies I've ever had in rap game, like rap group, rap shit.
Yeah,
like these are the dudes.
Yeah,
rap group.
The beginning.
Dude, these dudes have been in the mix since day one of the actual journey. I wouldn't say from day one of my music, but from day one of the real down to gritty shows, writing songs, recording. These guys have been the most supportive of my career, of their own careers. Like, this shit's been real ever since these guys have been on board, and I'm glad to have them on my show. The big focus for this episode is about Joel, about
Joey Ortiz, Jada B.
All of the above. All of the names.
Hey, motherfucking Pam.
Yeah. This man has been on a journey. Musically, I'd say that out of all of us, he's taken his music to different places that we have definitely not taken our music to. Specifically overseas, military, things like that. You've written songs in countries I've never even dreamed of going to.
Yeah, like nobody dreams of going to.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, that's what people, that's what I wanted you on the show. I wanted to discuss your past, about where music has come from for you and where it's taken you, and pretty much a really small, quick version of the history of Joel and his music, really. So let's take me back to the early days.
Early days, kids, like
when did
little
you,
Joel?
Not necessarily, not like what music your parents got you into, but more about writing music. When did you start putting pen to paper?
Honestly, Hidden Stash 2.
Really?
Yes, by Cottonmouth Kings.
Okay.
100%. I was listening to Johnny Richter. Was it Johnny Richter?
Yeah, Johnny Richter.
I believe it was Johnny Richter. He wrote a song, and it's about living in a pot plant. And I was
sounds like Cottonmouth Kings.
Fucking, and then my song the verse I wrote was "Sitting in the Caddy, listen to the beats just dropped to me by Little D from the West Side while rolling in the caddy." Let me go.
We get it.
Sitting in the caddy, listen to the beats just dropped to me by Little D from the West Side while rolling G through my fingertips by the minute. People shooting up blocks, taking up shots from my Glock 9mm, ready to blast the next motherfucker that crossed my path. That was the first verse I ever fucking wrote.
Really?
It was right after I listened to Johnny Richter in that song, and on the Hidden Stash 2.
The fact that man, out of any artist that I've ever talked to about music, they've never been able to tell me their first verse, and the fact that you still have it.
I can't tell you mine.
And I can't remember my fucking first verse.
I have no idea.
But bro, that is inspiring in itself, that you are still in this, still doing music, and you still have your very first verse in your back pocket.
You want to bet? You want to know something funny about that?
It's the only one all the way through.
The only one that I just I'm connected to because it was the very first one I ever wrote, and I practice it every single day. And I would show it off to my brothers, and my brother brought it up to, we went out to what is that Chinese restaurant that's right off of Empire and Division? China Dragon.
China. Oh, the one by the mall?
No, it's right next to Walgreens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Top of China?
Yeah, Top of China. Top of China.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother made me rap it in front of my grandma, who doesn't.
At the China place?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
It was embarrassing as hell, but it was
cool.
You
did it, though. You did that. The only verse I can say that I always have in my back pocket is actually from a song that me and Kyle did together is... I don't even remember what the actual title of the fucking track is anymore because it's been so long, but I just do my verse because it's the intro to the song.
Is it St. Pat?
No, it's like Northwest something.
Northwest Tall Tales?
Tall Tales. Northwest Tall Tales, yeah. And I always remember my verse because it's my favorite verse I've ever written because it has a cadence that starts off like a regular rap verse and then it actually speeds up and has a pretty good ending to it.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy doing that verse because it shows off that I can be lyrical. But then at the same time, I'm very limited in the fact that it's the only one I have in my back pocket.
Makes sense.
All the time.
So I was listening to recently, Jermaine Dupri?
Yes, I do. Oh, one of the best producers of all time.
Okay. Did you know he produced Criss Cross?
I actually did know that. I used to watch a lot of the VH1 specials, and Criss Cross was one of them that they always covered.
I didn't even know this shit. Like
they covered them when they died, or when one of them died.
Yeah,
like 5-6 years ago.
Cross, whatever.
One of
Mac Daddy or Daddy Mac.
One of the lions on that cross died.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. No, backwards clothes. He
was telling T.I. in an interview on his podcast, and he goes, I'd make music for Criss Cross because he wrote their lyrics for him.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he would write the lyrics for him.
Okay.
And he remembered that he would write lyrics for him and they wouldn't remember the verses and they didn't feel fluent and all that other stuff. And then he was like, oh, stuff that they connected to. That shit, like, they would say it and they would say it with conviction and they would do, he had
to find what they liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally had to find what they liked before they were actually good.
That's a weird concept to think about because as an MC today, the game's, I'd say, a lot different in the fact that you can be independent and write your own lyrics and make it big.
Yeah.
Back then, they had to do that to get big and to get signed to a label.
Yeah.
Like, they had to have ghostwriting.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's still a lot of ghostwriters today, but it's easier to be big because with social media, you can make such a presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's more like the beat is sold to different artists, and then they write the song later. The ghostwriting isn't as prevalent, I would say, as it used to be. It's still there, of course. Yeah, like, you always hear people like, oh,
yeah,
this so-and-so rapper has a ghostwriter that
Drake well, obviously Drake's the biggest one.
Drake's the biggest one.
Nicki Minaj, I don't think she writes her lyrics.
Well, you can look up a lot of songs and it'll tell you how many different writers it had on it.
Yep.
There's just a shit ton of songs out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
writers.
I think, like, every rapper that I look up that isn't, like, J. Cole or Eminem or something like that, Kendrick Lamar, it, like, has six contributions.
Oh, yeah.
To, like, even, like, I was looking up, what song was it recently? It was a Dre song, but it was Dre and Kendrick, but it had like 6 different freaking writers to the song.
Was it The Recipe?
Yes, actually it was The Recipe.
Yeah, that song.
I was like, what? There's 6 freaking writers to the song? Like,
that whole album, if you look at the credits for the Compton compilation, that shit is jam-packed. Every track is like 3-4 lyricists, producers all over the thing. Like, it's incredible how much work it takes Dre to put out an album. And to be honest with you, I'm so disappointed that he puts that much work and it's not as good as I expect it to be. And I don't have any budget at all to do my music. If I had that many producers and that many lyricists in my room to write with, you best believe it's winning a Grammy or something. Dude. I'm winning an award.
Have you heard the new Eminem album?
I have listened to some of it, not a lot of it. It didn't capture me quite as much as Kamikaze did. I loved Kamikaze.
I think it's his best album
ever. I mean, you're talking the new one with Godzilla?
No. I'm talking about Music to Be Murdered By.
Godzilla is on that album, isn't it?
It's Side B.
Side B.
Oh, they did it. I didn't even know they put that out.
Dude, there's a song called, I think it's called, is it Zeus with Dr. Dre?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I would look it up, but we're in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, no, I know what you I think I did actually hear about that particular track.
Hands down, one of the best. One of Dre's best. Like, he only does one verse.
Well, yeah.
He only does one verse.
Dre, though.
That's funny because I don't like that song.
Really?
You don't like that song? Yeah. I mean, that chorus on it.
I like a lot of the other tracks. I just didn't really like that song.
And it's not Zeus, because Zeus I really like.
But anyway, let's take it back to your journey. Yeah, we went to the Criss Cross thing.
Yeah, man. Like, originally it was like me and music. Honestly, New Kids, when I was a kid, New Kids on the Block was big, so we started singing.
Okay. I can see how that definitely would influence you.
I was sucky at singing.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy, I think his name was John Cannon. I lived in the Azores, which is an island, a Portuguese island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
And my dad was in the military. Okay. So we would sing that stuff. We didn't even know what hip-hop was back then, at all.
It was so fresh and new.
Yeah, like, I had no clue what hip-hop was. And then I came back to Spokane, started listening to Criss Cross. Then that was a big thing, you know. Daddy Mac make you jump.
It was a fad, but at the same time, that was revolutionary. At the time.
It was influential for kids my age.
Exactly, you were in the age group they were targeting.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I was like 9, 10 years old.
Yep.
You know, they
were your size, doing what you wanted to do,
having fun.
Yeah,
making freaking music.
And then,
shit. They were. I actually have worn my jeans backwards because of them.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, if anything, I
went to school like that shit.
I had hammer pants, man.
So stupid.
I had many hammer pants and shit like that.
Yeah,
I know.
I had hammer pants.
I was there.
Yeah, we were.
I grew up way too white for that.
You grew up way too white. And then it was Boys to Men.
So you were more.
I was in R&B.
Okay.
I loved R&B, and then I started listening to Tupac. Bone Thugs and Harmony really got me into music.
Okay, I can see that. If you're in
East
R&B
1999 or Eternal 1999, the album.
Eternal is
fire.
Actually,
fucking fire. Those guys deserve more credit for what they did for the rap community. I believe, especially freaking Crazy Bone. Crazy Bone, I think, is top 10 in my.
I think they do give them credit, but not the credit they definitely deserve for how influential they are on artists today.
Yeah.
They kind of got shit on, like, recently, because no one really talks about them anymore or plays them anymore. But everybody acknowledges that they were good. No,
in Spokane, though. In Spokane, I mean, like, early 2000s, everyone was still playing Bone Thugs.
Oh, yeah. But like today, if you go down the street, you're not going to hear Bone Thugs.
No.
Most likely not.
But everybody's into that little yachty fucking... Like, we got to remember, we're the old school.
If you walk into a bar right now, if you were to walk into a bar right now, what song do you think would be playing?
Right now? Probably something Machine Gun Kelly. That's
you think Machine Gun Kelly? Machine Gun, I can see Machine Gun Kelly. We're talking like new Machine Gun with like the purple or the pink hair and like the weird vibe he's pulling off.
He's blowing up though. Like he was on SNL on the revamp of SNL. Yeah. He was on that. So it's like, and honestly, I'm going to jump topics a little bit. I think that Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly had a plan to jump his career.
I think that they
because I feel like beefs are fake. I don't think they're real
at that level in the industry.
They're not
absolutely, it's a stage. There's no. It's not like they ran into each other in the street and had beef. That's not how it happens. It's internet beef. It's not the same as
Machine Gun Kelly built that shit up. I mean, he made that song with Tech Nine where he was talking shit about Eminem. I know everyone says that like Eminem was talking shit about a tweet back in like 2015 or 16, like some shit about that about Haley. Shit like that. I was like, no, he was on the fucking All Sixes and All Sevens, I think it was, the Tech Nine album, talking shit about Eminem in general.
Yeah.
And that maybe it was the album after that. I don't remember which album it was. But he was talking shit about Eminem, and Eminem responded to that, at least in my eyes. It wasn't about Haley.
For me, I feel like Machine Gun Kelly, since you brought him up, is a very somebody that we can relate to now as somebody that's been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been in the industry probably as long as Macklemore or any of them, because he was on the Freshman Freestyle with them, like in those days. So he's been around doing music that long, and I used to listen to Machine Gun Kelly before he hit it like super big, but he was getting big. Oh. He had like the Lace Up album, and he had all these...
I like the Lace Up.
1,000 Words and Running or something like that. Or those albums were good. And that's when you saw he could rap really fucking fast.
Yeah.
But then he got signed by Bad Boy, got thrown out into all these shows that he had to do to make money, which makes sense. That's what you do when you hit it big. You have to hit the road. You hit the road. You don't get handed a check and told to go home to the studio. You get handed a check and told, go make real money. Turn this money into big money and go hit the road. Yeah. And he did that. The problem is that he didn't expect what he got out of it.
Yeah.
And so he had to revamp and come back and hit him in a totally different angle because he realized the people jumping at his shows weren't the people that were buying his albums before. The people bought his albums because he was a lyricist. So hip-hop people bought his albums.
And yeah, but the more mainstream out,
the more he hit the road and realized these teenage girls were fucking loving his shit,
he was like,
he dyed his hair and fucking went Prince on these motherfuckers.
He went Eminem. Blonde hair.
Yeah, well, I've seen variations of this hair, and I've seen variations of the outfits he's wearing. He's not Eminem. Eminem put baggy clothes on and a wife beater and went out there and fucking...
But he was still that blonde hair, blue-eyed fucking...
Yeah, but now instead of putting the leather jacket on and the punk clothes that he used to wear, it's skinny jeans and fucking
no shirt.
Shiny jackets and shit.
And no shirt all the time.
And I get it.
It makes sense.
He's at that point in your career where you can do that. Yeah. And that's fine and all. Yeah. But what are you going to do next?
I ain't never gonna.
What are you going to do
you
next?
You want to see me with no shirt?
We don't. No, we actually...
Join his OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans tonight.
It's called Noodles and Nips.
So, okay, so
titties and tattoos.
Crisscross was the real inspiration for your journey to get started into music. So
yeah, and then, so Bone Thugs was my journey.
Next, it was Crisscross, Bone Thugs.
Then Cottonmouth Kings is when I really started writing. I would be in like, you remember Mr. Creaseman? And
I do. I had Mr. Creaseman.
I had him for 4 years. I took creative writing for 4 years straight up.
He's that good. He was that good of a teacher.
I didn't want to take English class because it was boring.
Yeah,
and creative writing was always like my thing. I loved writing poems when I was a kid.
Yeah, he would make you stand up in class and perform them in front of people.
Yeah, he would.
That's how I got writing. That's why I stood up.
Probably my biggest influence. He doesn't know it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I never told him.
I failed his class.
I failed this class 4 years. For 4 years. It doesn't matter. I still wrote. The problem is I had a problem with showing up to class, but I'd listen to him. He was one of the he was a person that I always respected and always
And to give a little background to people that don't know who Mr. Creaseman looked like Mr. Clean with a mustache.
He was a jock.
And he worked out every fucking morning, lifting weights. He would have teachers put weights on his back while he did push-ups every morning.
Yeah.
His arms were fucking huge.
Yeah, he's like a buff old guy.
Yeah, but he looked like a teacher. He was very tucked in and all this stuff.
Yeah.
To give you context, this is how legendary of a name he had. We had an artist, Greg DeBro, who's actually a phenomenal...
Oh, Jeff DeBro's brother.
Little brother.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal hand-drawing artist. He drew a picture of Mr. Creaseman riding a horse. And I guarantee if he's still teaching, is on his wall. Because it wasn't just a kid drawing a cartoon of a teacher riding a horse.
Yeah.
This is something that somebody could put on a fucking gallery. It's detailed. The horse is buff too, and he's riding and he's all super buffed out.
Oh God! I doubt he's teaching.
But he inspired you to write because he didn't.
He enjoyed it when he read he would read poems and stuff or short stories in creative writing class, and he would make stuff interesting.
Which would make, in turn you into a writer and get you up in front of the class telling everybody about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what took it from the pad to the microphone or to actually writing a song?
There was an experiment done at NC where they had electronic music. I don't know if they had it when you were in your...
I wasn't in any of the music programs.
Okay, so there was an experiment done for us fucking poor kids.
Okay.
Pretty much. And they put me in this electronic music class, and I wrote to a DMX beat.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's what you had at the time.
No, I learned how to play it on the piano.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah,
it's even better.
And I made a rap. I did it. I made a rap. I did everything. And my teacher's like, "Oh, you got to perform this. It's really fucking good."
Really?
I don't remember what the rap was. I don't remember anything about that.
So you performed this in front of people?
I had to bitching out.
You bitched out?
Yeah,
it was the first chance he had.
Dude. Everyone was hyped about it. Joel's gonna rap? Joel's gonna fucking put a rap out? What? And then
did you get all the way to the point where they called your name, or you just didn't show up at all?
I didn't show up to class. I was probably getting stoned with somebody.
And they were super disappointed, I bet.
Yeah, I can't believe... that's the first time I thought of that in years.
Yeah.
Wow, you got that out of me. Yeah, me and my teacher worked on it for probably a good part of the semester. Yeah. And then it was finals, and she was like, you got to perform this. It's really good. And I swear I was talking about weed and everything, and she's like, no, you're going to perform it. And I'm like,
you couldn't do it?
I couldn't do it.
Well, now, were you going to perform it in front of parents and stuff, or was it class?
Peers.
Oh, it was okay.
I don't care about parents.
Like, you would have been like, I'm going to be there.
Yeah, but in performing it, and the girls were like, oh, you're going to make a rap. Oh, my God.
Oh, like, man, the pressure was on.
This kid and I had, Kyle and I had a fourth period foos class together, and we used to rap in class.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, teacher
dude, she fucking hated us. Hated us. But the girls, Jessica Negron.
You're not talking about Zelensky, are you?
Yeah, no. Anton Furnos was in the class, I think. I'm pretty sure he was.
I don't remember. There's a
lot of people in the class, but there was a group of girls that used to watch us all the time.
While you sat there,
yeah, and we would just make raps all the time. Yeah, it was a great fucking class. It was so fun.
But
I was stoned all the time.
That was literally like my first introduction to actually writing something.
Was it?
Yeah,
like getting into class and like
that was awesome.
But that's like real starting of hip hop. That's where you realize you liked it. Like my background in hip hop is completely different. I got into it because my dad had a Beastie Boys album and a Jimi Hendrix album. And I wanted to know why.
That's not bad.
Like, I was much later in music. Like, in high school, I collected CDs, and it was all metal. Or Papa Roach, or,
Papa Roach.
Heavy stuff.
They're good.
And, Linkin Park and stuff like that. But that stuff was what was popular, so I had it. Yeah. And, like, I burned CDs and listened to them, but it wasn't like I thought about writing music, because I never thought in my entire life
it was possible
I could record something.
Yeah.
I didn't think that the computer sitting in my room would eventually become a full audio recording studio.
We never recorded anything until years and years later.
Well, you recorded stuff while I was deployed when I was in the Army.
Yeah. But that was when you came back and we were talking about it and you had recording stuff, I was like, hold up.
When I had
this is
Audacity?
Yeah.
Oh, I started on Audacity. You couldn't hear yourself. You would just rap into the mic.
And it would be off, and it was.
You'd have to redo it.
Yeah.
And you had no
idea.
idea.
There's a couple songs
on
my SoundCloud that are still from that Audacity.
I literally don't listen to any of my Audacity stuff. I have it. I have everything I've ever made, but until I bought my first USB mixer, I did not feel good about my music at all.
Mm-hmm.
I felt good about a lot of the stuff at the time. But you go back now and it's like, it's cringeworthy. I listen to a lot of old stuff and I'm just like, well, putting that back in the vault.
Yeah. Even a couple albums back for me is cringeworthy because I start hearing things that I could have done better and like.
But you know syllable counts now. You know how to build a bar.
I know how to build a bar now.
You know when you're gonna hit on the beat. You know when I started out, when we made the first rap group album, I was nervous the entire time we were making that album. Granted, we were making a track in like a day.
Yeah. The process was much shorter.
We were just like boom, 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 boom. It was literally, Kyle would come over to my house or my apartment, and we would put on a beat, write a song. It was done. Within like 3 hours.
That's our whole first album.
The first three was like that.
Really? Yeah.
Jesus. It was nerve-wracking for me.
We were talking about it earlier because the process has changed. It's not like that anymore.
No.
There's way more writing goes into it. I mean, I'll sit on beats for months before
The revision process is way different now. Yeah. I used to commit to things a lot more and not go back. And now I'm like, if anything bothers me in a track, even if I've finished it and mixed it out, I'll listen to it. And if I get to that point where every time I listen to that track it bothers me, I'll go fix it. I'll be like, fuck it. I know how to fix it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's I would say we're all a little bit more perfectionists than we were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we care.
Oh, yeah.
We care now. Yeah. It's 100%. It's we don't want
Joe recorded on a fucking laptop overseas, bro.
Yeah.
Why don't
that was true.
That's something that I really want people to know about. What was it like trying to get recording equipment in a different country? Like,
I didn't.
So what was this? Like, what was the process? What did you do?
So
how did you even talk about
D12 back in the day, Eminem's fucking group.
Yeah.
D12 back in the day had a contest and it was a rap contest. And I wish I still had this email. And they had a beat and everything, and I sent them the track, and I got an email back, and they were like, "Oh, dude, this is good, but you sound like shit. The recording sounds like shit."
Yeah.
I just literally had the mic on the computer.
Yeah.
And I'm rapping into the mic on the... Like, you know how back in the day the laptop would open up and you'd have the little camera?
The little hole mic. So was this the laptop that you had on the bass?
Yeah.
So and
I don't remember how I even recorded it, to be honest with you.
Is it in the barracks?
No, there was no barracks. We were living in a tent.
It was just a tent. You had power, though, and you could plug a laptop in. And that's insanely hard to do. And the fact that you did that for D12 of all people, you did this for an actual person that was famous.
Yeah. They wrote me back and they were like, "We can't enter it in the contest because your recording equipment sucks, but you have potential." It was that track, that track that I have on YouTube and where I'm holding the guns like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I've heard it. You can tell it was recorded on the
It's crappy as fuck. The verse is good, though.
Yeah. When I first heard it, though, it was impressive just for the sheer fact that you're in a war zone, got a laptop, and you're like, you know what? I'm a fucking rhyme.
And not only that, I'm going to rhyme and send this track to D12.
Yeah. I was hoping to win, so I didn't have to be in that.
Well, no, yeah.
To be honest with you.
But nowadays that kind of thing happens sitting in your living room in your boxer shorts on a YouTube channel. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like...
you could become famous for fucking just rhyming.
You were literally doing something for an entire country of people and stopped and had the artistic drive to pull that off.
I guess.
And I did at the time, and relatively speaking, it probably wasn't difficult.
I was like 21, 22 at the time.
Well, I mean, nowadays they probably do that in the military, and they have the little USB audio box and shit.
They got studios going.
Yeah, see, it's crazy now.
You see, I was watching a TikTok, and there was some kids at Burger King.
With a studio?
Yeah, in the Burger King.
Fucking... That's over the top now.
Like, you don't need anything.
If you're gonna sell me an album and you made it in a Burger King, it better come.
Fucking Hobson makes it in his Hobson makes it in his bedroom.
Keep their food.
He makes his shit in his bedroom.
So Hobson's different. Hobson, I have a lot of respect for now that he went through it and is coming back out of it again.
Yeah.
Because I felt like before he fell off and had to realize who he was getting real to the point where he was obnoxious. He was annoying, and it was honestly justified. He had the talent. He was getting popular. He got what he deserved. He got cocky. He got in people's faces. He was basically telling everybody to fuck off. And then when everybody said fuck you, he was like, "Oh shit. Oh shit.
My bad.
My bad."
Yeah.
And I respect that because he admitted it. He came out and said that he was going through shit and he had to straighten his life out, and it made sense.
In Australia and shit.
All that shit was crazy. I'm sure when you hit the road and you're famous for that really, when you start getting hundreds of thousands of plays instead of 100, then your mentality changes. 1,000. I'll take 1,000.
I'll take 1,000. I'll take 1,000.
Shit, I'll take 300.
Yeah.
Pass it that way.
Yeah.
300.
I was about to say, I'd be cool with
I remember,
300 on a Beanz podcast.
Fucking listen, 300. Woo!
The fact that, actually, the podcast is starting to get out to people. I get at least 3 to 4 live viewers when it broadcasts for the first time, which I really enjoy being able to do like a chat room style premiere for everyone. That makes it much more fun, and it's building. It's slowly building.
Man,
I am cool with 4 people.
I need to get
because that's one more person that showed up to the show. That's one more person I got that didn't watch it last time. I'm cool with that.
It's progression, dude. So I like to listen to these Twitch guys and gals, I guess.
Yeah, and
they start out for 5 years playing for 3 people.
Oh, dude!
And then all of a sudden, it's within that 5 years, they just boom.
You hit that point when finally somebody recognizes that you're doing it, and then you do that one thing that everybody really likes. You put that one video out.
You figure it out.
You figure it out. A lot of times it's luck.
I think it's hard work. I don't think
it's hard work to But
I think that there is an element of luck, though.
Yeah.
To get to hit that threshold from 3 to 3,000. There's that one video where everybody started tuning in.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. We're going to get there.
I think so. You're hustling more than I will say, in the last year, I'll say last year, I've seen you hustling because I'm paying attention. I may not like all your shit or whatever.
Yeah, I don't expect everybody to like
I don't put like or anything, but I pay attention. I'm like, fucking Bueno's putting in fucking work, dude. Like, he's super, like, I wish I had that drive. I'm like, right now, I'm kind of, I'm working a lot, so I'm just like trying to make music, trying to do this, trying to do that, getting that shit together and everything.
Well, when they told me to go home and that I couldn't do my job anymore, but I was told that my job would wait until I come back, I wasn't about to just sit at home and watch Netflix every single day, every hour of every day and do nothing. I had an obligation to use the shit that I spent my money on.
This drive.
I had the means to do it. I have the time to do it. My family's taken care of. Everything's straight. Why not make more music and make time for music?
Yeah.
If that's the only thing that I can do safely, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste time. And it's made me money. It's going to make me money. It's going to make everybody that works with me money.
Yeah.
Like, it's a community thing. Like, me and my buddy are bouncing ideas off of building this collective, and we're tossing names around right now. We've got something going on, but this coalition of artists is starting to emerge out of the, what do you say, like the
depths,
the primordial rap game of Spokane. Like,
I think people are starting to take it. What I've noticed is people are starting to figure out that we need to be together and not hating.
Yes. We went through a long period of time where when we first started, when we were in the rap game, where it was just nothing but every show you went to, everybody talked shit about everybody. Every show you went to, so-and-so.
They show you a good job and then immediately show you their music.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, hey, good job. You guys actually did good.
I like that song.
Just like, oh, good job. Here, check my shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy my shirt. Buy my album.
Yep. And it was, there was just, it wasn't a lot of, like, face-to-face hate.
No.
It was behind the mask.
It was a lot
of haters.
You could, like, feel it in the air almost. Like, it's
every show, it was like you could put the knife through the air. It was thick.
I'm not gonna lie. When I went to the EO shows and stuff, you guys kind of rocked it.
It was fun. Like, we didn't go there to do that. We weren't actually part of the scene when we were doing that.
I just thought it was cool. There were other people willing to, like, rap on the same stage as us. So I was like, this is dope.
And it was a chance to hang out with all of our friends and get drunk.
Yeah.
And, and if we're doing the show, that means we get to control what's going on.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer.
It was always great. Every time I went to your guys' show, I enjoyed the music and I enjoyed the show.
Those days definitely are something that I would like to at least revisit someday.
It'll happen.
The shows part, obviously, we're going to be a year, 2 years out from that, but it's definitely something that when it comes back is going to be a vital
It's
part.
happening this year.
I mean, like, we could push it and do it, but I think if we let it settle at the beginning when everybody starts going out again, let them get comfortable to the spots they like to go to, get back to figuring out what restaurants and venues have good food, good drinks, good prices, all that. Then we find that venue that we feel comfortable with. Like, we used to have Cars Corner. We scouted that place out for months. It took us a long time to get it, and it didn't last, of course. Well, nothing ever lasts when it comes to businesses, but that's
is the pin going to come back?
That's actually way up in the air. It's not for sure. But the thing about it is there's going to be a lot of open buildings and new businesses starting. So you're saying the observatory is going to be open. Like, I'm saying we get our own.
There's going to be a lot of opportunities.
I'm just saying, 100%. Like, so many opportunities. It would be really dumb not to capitalize in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, we really enjoyed what we did before, so we're going to do it again. But,
move it up.
Aside from that, now I want to take a little jump from the military and you starting. That was, like, now I can see where you're at in your life, where you're, like, doing music, but it's not the main drive. So why don't you start telling me about and telling the people about how when we first started bringing you in, and like what that was for you, like as an artist, like.
So I was going through divorce, I think. Yeah, with the ex, and then I've always wanted to make a rap album, or make music in general, because parts of me don't think I'm I think I rap, but I'm not a rapper. Because I feel like I try to do everything, even though if I'm not good.
You're a musician?
Yeah.
Not a
musician. I'm a fucking vocalist.
Yeah, vocal. Okay, so it's not
like,
just a rap.
Yeah, like...
You're an MC. Mic controller.
Yeah.
You use it for every way possible.
I try to do everything, but I hit and miss, because I'm willing to try shit and go for it, and... If it fucking fails, it fails. If it hit, it hits. You know what I mean?
When I first met you, you had done a few tracks.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about like Watchtower, for instance? You kind of wrote that. Kind of came out like right when I met you.
Really?
Well, you had like started to put it out.
It was around. Yeah, it was around the same time.
It was you had wrote it and recorded it, but hadn't put it out yet.
Okay.
And then you put it out when I first met you, so it was like it was an old track, but it was really just coming out.
Yeah.
So like
I would show it to you guys, and then I finally fucking pushed it.
So how did that happen?
Watchtower? I've always been political, because that song is straight up political.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I was watching like the Hunger Games or just thinking of everything in the government.
The bigger government picture.
Yeah, the bigger government picture. And I was like, dude, everything that we do in life is like, it's already like mapped out for us. Mm-hmm. Everything is. I ended up joining the military. My dad was in the fucking military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other people, their fucking dad was a drug addict. They become a drug addict.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Certain aspects, you can say that some people become what they were supposed to. Not everybody.
I'm not saying there's always people that break that mold, but in general, most people follow that same path that they're,
for you,
their
ancestors. For you felt like you in particular, because of your dad being in the military, influenced you to follow a similar path.
Yeah.
For sure.
Everything.
How did you record Watchtower, though? Because you never told me that. Yeah, I've never heard the story about...
I think Watchtower was recorded on... Because it was when I first met you.
Yeah.
So I think it was recorded on... what is the Apple one? GarageBand?
GarageBand, okay.
It was recorded on GarageBand. And I was new to recording, new to every... I didn't know how to level shit out.
This wasn't like the pinhole mic on a laptop.
It was a USB mic.
USB.
It was one of those.
It had a much better setup. Yeah.
It wasn't that pinhole mic, but it was better, but it wasn't good or anything. Like my setup now is amazing. I think it's amazing. There's still things I need to work on.
Learning about music is an ever-changing process
and expensive.
It can be. Once you initially spend your money on the equipment to get the mic, the mixer, the cords, the cables, everything that you need to get started, the amount of money that you put forth after that is minimal.
Yeah.
I have spent far less on upgrading my musical equipment and getting a better sound out of it. I've upgraded stuff, but not got a better sound. Just more convenient, newer.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better, just newer or something like that. But it's not like a computer where if I buy new parts for the computer, I'm spending money on it. It's getting better, but I'm putting... however much money I put into it, I'm getting out of it. In music, it's more like put all your money up front first, get started.
Hopefully it comes back
and then hopefully you can bring that money back. Like I'm doing now.
That's any business, though.
True. Yeah. Music's more of a business as opposed to a hobby. It can be. Yeah. Music's a huge hobby for everybody that does music. But at the same time, if you're trying to get anything out of it, it's a business. Yeah. Becomes a business.
Yeah. I think it's a passion before anything, because you have to have that passion. You have to like writing. You have to like telling a story. You have to have some creative juices flowing before you can even, because you can't be a person that just wants money.
No.
At all. Because you have to enjoy what you're doing with music. You can't just be like, oh, I make music because it makes me money. Well, there's no, I don't think there's a person in the world that does that.
I think, okay. I actually kind of disagree with that because I feel like a lot of the newer huge artists that are not talented, and specifically mumble rappers in particular, certain ones. Like, I can't name any that I particularly know of their music.
I've literally heard people say, like, I could say anything I want on a track and it'll sell, whatever.
But Lil Yachty could do that.
But they're also saying that because they have so much confidence in their lyrics. Well, even if it's crap lyrics, they think their lyrics are fire.
It takes a lot more to, like, actually put, like, your soul into those lyrics. Yeah. Like, to actually bare your soul for people. Like, Letter to Myself. You write that song, and that's, I mean, it's kind of a harsh song.
Yeah, it's basically telling me I'm lazy.
Yeah, but
to yourself.
You did that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, get the fuck up, do your shit. You know, like, get on your fucking ball, go for it.
But do you have a track that's literally, I wake up with rolls of money and fuck bitches with coke on their ass?
Because I don't.
Or I sip.
I want to. Hey, ladies.
Oh, we can put it this way: do you have a beer once in a while? Do you drink alcohol? You probably do. But do you write songs about being lazy and partying? No. You've been lazy, you've partied, you've drank, but are your hit songs that you're writing about that? No, you're probably not going to write a hit song about that.
I don't know, maybe in the future. Whatever.
I'm not saying you can't, because obviously
that coke on a girl's butt.
I mean, obviously there's these artists out there now that are terrible, terrible, but no heart in their music at all.
But my thoughts are that like a bigger artist is living a different life. That guy probably literally snorted coke off of a girl's ass.
Yes.
I don't have that experience. I don't know it. I don't know the feeling, so I can't give you the conviction.
I know what you're saying, and I can't
give you that conviction.
I totally agree with you on that front, that maybe they're not as fake as it feels when they say lyrics like that, because they literally are doing the things they say they're doing.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're a person willing to do those things to the point where they are making millions of dollars rapping about doing those shitty piece of shit things on a record and getting millions of fans doing it.
Yeah. So I was listening to a track, and I think it was what's that guy that beat Rihanna? What's his name?
Oh, Chris Brown.
It was Chris Brown and a rapper. The rapper said, I can't get into details, but I had to throw the piece away. And he's talking about destroying somebody's neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't say that shit. I could never say that shit because it's not true. I couldn't say it with conviction.
But you've done some things, I assume, in your life, we all have, that we didn't agree with or didn't like doing, and it kind of made us feel like a piece of shit at some time. Oh, yeah. You're not writing a song about it.
I'm not rapping about any of that shit.
You're not writing songs about it, making it. You're not glorifying it. You know? Yeah. You're not glorifying those things. These people are choosing not to write songs that are emotionally connecting like that. They're choosing
their growth, or
they're not choosing to grow. They're choosing to be the same thing and sell that as a good thing.
I think that a lot of rappers or mumble rappers or whatever you want to call them they're trying to make money off of a passion they have, but they know if they write something real, most people aren't going to listen to that.
So they go with what sells, which is style.
Yeah.
Style sells for sure. And in the fashion industry, that makes a lot of sense. But when I go to buy a rap album or I go to listen to a song, I'm not going to listen to a model. I'm going to listen to a rapper. I do not give a fuck what chains, teeth you have, what fucking diamond you put in the middle of your forehead. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
I give a fuck about what
real shit.
I want to know what you wrote on your album.
Yeah.
And if you wrote about blowing up your fucking neighborhood or beating your girlfriend, I don't like you. It's not that I'm like that. I think that your music, beat wise or musically, sounds terrible.
It's not composed well.
You, as a person, are fucked up. Hands down. That's it. That's simple as that. You can write a fat fucking banger, but if you talk about beating your girlfriend in that track, you're a piece of shit to me.
Well, yeah, but like, Kyle and I wrote a song together. It's called Monster.
Okay.
And I'm literally like, I don't remember exactly. And I apologize for this, bud. I don't remember exactly where you went with this. But when I wrote it, I'm writing like a story about like people that are fucked up in their head. It's not exactly what I'm thinking, but like it's literally about some guy that died.
Yeah.
And these people are waiting to take everything from him.
But you're not that person.
Yes, but I mean,
you're writing a movie.
Yeah, but
in lyrical form.
You're a storyteller when you get on the mic sometimes. Yeah,
but these fucking rappers that are talking about blowing up in their neighborhoods and rapping about that and wearing these chains can't read a story, let alone tell one. Like, no offense, they can read. I'm sure they can fucking read. But these guys are not you with a thought process behind writing a story that's epic and has some sort of depth to it where there's some bad shit that happens. They are literally telling you about yesterday and about how fucked up they are.
Yesterday.
I mean, there's a difference. If they came out and wrote a story and it had like a whole, like Tupac, for instance. Tupac lived a life where fucked up shit happened to him all the time. And he wrote about it. But he wrote about it in the most epic story, most creative way possible. And still fucking put it to a Dre beat. Still made it gangster. Yeah. And it was epic. It's some of the best music you'll ever listen to, hands down, ever.
Yeah, I listened to Tupac too. I was listening to Tupac today.
I don't listen to Tupac that often, but if it comes on, I'm not turning it off.
Man, I had a whole like year where you remember CDs, right?
Yeah, I still got them. Still burn them. Okay. I still burn CDs, motherfucker.
I had a whole MP3 CD of every Tupac song. Mm-hmm. And for a year.
That was all I listened to. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of music, though. You can do that. Because
it's like, I don't know. I don't remember. It must not have been every song because it was like 50, 60 songs.
But then I bet there was remixes, too.
There was tons of music. Him.
I had that collection. I mean, I still have on my hard drive Tupac collection and shit like that I downloaded back when LimeWire and shit was still.
What's your favorite Tupac song?
Hail Mary.
Okay. Yours?
I don't know.
You don't like Tupac, do you?
I mean, I listen to Tupac. It's not like I don't like Tupac. I was just never really big into Tupac.
My favorite lyrically, though,
I was into Biggie. Yeah.
My favorite,
but I didn't hate him.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I didn't listen to Biggie. Yeah.
I
always thought Biggie was too flashy. Yeah. He was too flashy.
For me though, lyrically, Hail Mary is my favorite track, just Tupac. But lyrically, my favorite track is the one that the Deadly Combination with him, Big L, and Biggie. Yeah. That fucking track, you can just sum up that era. Period.
I gotta listen to that song again.
It's like, and there's a couple different versions of it. Yeah. Like they have the shitty recording version where their lyrics aren't that clean, but it's still the same, almost exactly. Big L's
the version I have is only Tupac and Big L.
Yeah, but there's one that has all three of them on it, and that one's actually a really good recording. Like,
I must be a fucking pansy because my favorite song of his is like "Letter to My Unborn Child." And then
see, I didn't get into a lot of his
I wonder why they call you bitch.
Yeah,
you know.
At least they didn't say changes.
Changes is a good song. Thug Mansion's good.
Thug Mansion's good.
Well, I could go into a bunch of songs.
But Tupac, like Kyle, wasn't my big thing either. Like I respect him, 100%. But
you guys also grew up. You were a little younger than me, so you guys didn't. You know, Me Against the World came out when I was like 12.
I literally didn't. I didn't get into rap until like way late.
Me too.
And it was. Eminem was honestly the first rapper I ever liked.
Really?
Yeah, and then I heard Biggie shortly after, and I was just like, "Who the fuck is this?" And Biggie was probably my favorite up until I heard Big L.
Oh, Big L changed my life.
I would say Big L is probably like my favorite MC of all time. But for me, it's those three. Those are the guys that.
Cypress Hill's the ones that changed. They're the reason why I switched from rock to rap.
Temple of Boom.
Temple of Boom I bought was the first one I bought by them, and then I bought Black Sunday.
I think that's where everybody went through that.
But then I realized I really loved their first album more than a lot of them. But then I bought all their albums and realized Stone Raiders is one of my favorite albums of all time by any artist ever.
What tracks are on that?
It's got Red Meth and B, which is Be Real, Method Man and Redman rapping. It's got Lowrider on it. It's got Stone Raiders, which is the title track's good. It's got, all the tracks on that album. See, the reason why I think it was better than their other stuff was production-wise. They went from the old school DJ Lethal turntable scratch sound to bigger 90s hip-hop production as of like Redman and Method Man were making at the time, where it went from
so it was a 2000 album.
It went from like the old boom bap beats to the real heavy 808 deep bass with fat beats, but then they mixed it with that old school lowrider feel, and the whole album's fire. Whole fucking album's fire.
That's good.
But it's also one of their least talked about albums because it was like their 8th or like sixth or 7th album, and it was
later in their career, so they were just they were an
people were like, we already know what you sound like.
We know.
They were wrong.
Cypress Hill is.
If you go back and listen to that album, you'll be like, why have I never fucking heard
Insane
this?
in the Membrane.
Insane in the Membrane.
Yeah, no, I get
Insane
you.
in the brain.
That was the shit that got me away from rock, because they did the Skull and Bones album that had Rage Against the Machine, did tracks for him and shit.
Rage, dude. Rage!
That whole fucking Skull Bones double album is one of the most epic hip-hop rap albums ever created. It's just...
Let's be real. Rage Against the Machine, probably one of the best rappers ever.
Zach De La Roca?
Yeah.
He's one of those cats that he's written so many epic tracks that mean way more than any other artist. Because these songs are written about real political battles and real political things that happen and have real meaning, and you could literally hear the meaning and draw a tear from it, because there's dead bodies behind these lyrics.
Yeah.
And he did it in a sense that it didn't feel like hip-hop. It didn't feel like rap. It felt like emotion. It felt like he was relaying this to you in a form that was readable to you at the time.
I feel like he was conspiracy theorist, before conspiracy theory.
Truth. He really was.
But it was founded conspiracy theory.
I wouldn't say as
you know
much,
what I mean? It's like these motherfuckers are trying to control you.
He was more lifting the veil on something that we knew was existing.
And he was making it more popular.
Making it
popular and public.
He was bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah, and making you less of a sheep, making you realize what's real. And he wasn't really necessarily telling you to change you. He was telling you to just listen and pay attention.
Yeah, this is not... It's not what it is.
Yeah.
These guys are not thinking of you. They're thinking of corporations.
He literally told you, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And that's what that's what the message I get.
Dude, tell me.
I get that's the big message from Rage if you really look back at that time period.
They were fucking amazing.
Good stuff.
So what's Joey Ortiz's message?
Yeah, if you were to sum up into this journey that we're on now, and we're at the point where we're making music on our free time and
doing as much as we can.
What's your message? What's Joel?
Make what you love.
Make what you love.
Like I said, I feel like I go to, when I make music, I literally hit it or I way off the fucking left field.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to make what I think is enjoyable and what is in my head. If it doesn't come out, I still let it out, and maybe somebody will like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck what everybody else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Make what I listened to that I posted the other day, Just Friends.
Mm-hmm.
That song, my voice is not great in it, but I had a vision in my head, and the song itself
came out the way that you thought it should.
If I had a better voice, it would
to an extent.
Well, I mean,
it came out the way it should come out.
The message was there.
The song is literally about a girl that's cheating on her boyfriend with another guy, and the guy loves her, and he's trying to be like, just be with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're my fuck buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, like it's one of my, it may not hit on the notes and like but the story is intact, and that's what I'm proud of.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And then I'm working on a couple of tracks I showed you today. I got 3 or 4.
I feel like you did show me some tracks today that these people listening to the podcast will eventually hear, and I think that they're going to be pleasantly surprised with what I told you when you showed it to me. I feel like you found your voice.
It's kind of, yeah.
You, like, everybody's a perfectionist. Everybody wants to write better lyrics. But when I first met you and we first started recording with you, one of the things that I told you when we first started was, hey, work on your voice. Get that sound that you want to sound, and then it'll just start coming out that way. Once you get your voice, then you can write to that voice, and then you will have song, it builds.
The words will come out easier.
I feel like you're so creative, like you would have ideas for songs and you would switch it up so much. It's starting to sound more the same from song to song.
Yep.
So somebody can come along, listen to 3 tracks and be like, oh shit, that's Joey Ortiz in all 3 tracks.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not like, wait, who's this guy? He kind of sounds like Joey Ortiz.
He might be Joey Ortiz. Who knows? I don't know. Is this Johnny?
Well, that's the thing. It used to be Johnny B, and now it's Joel Ortiz, and I feel like
Joey Ortiz is the person that makes really good songs.
Really good song. Joel is one of the best lyricists
of all time. There's no way.
Compare you to that is not an insult.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joey Ortiz.
I'm like,
I just want to call you Joel all the time.
Just call me Joel.
But no,
I don't care.
The people need to know.
My mom calls me Joey, motherfuckers.
Joey. She puts him in her pocket.
Joey.
He's a little Joey.
If you're watching this, I love you.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a growth from the name change. No one ever says, hey, switch your name up.
Well, Jada B came from a friend from childhood. You know what I mean? It was like, I was trying to incorporate that into music, and then I was like, no, that's not me. That person.
I never really like
Nubian.
Thought about a name change as like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like I remember when you were telling me, like, you treated it like a big deal. You're like, hey, I'm thinking about changing the name to Joey Ortiz, and I was just like,
okay,
all right.
Yeah. But for us, it doesn't mean anything.
But I do think your music, it took a turn for the better when you did that. It's like you became more yourself.
So what about the depressed songs?
The meaning
I think you needed to write them.
Yeah.
I think you needed to get them out.
But do they show growth?
I think they do, yeah.
The voice. It has nothing to do with the message. You've always had a message, Joel, which is very...
Well, I understand that, strong. But I'm wondering, like, in the depressed songs that I made,
you can still hear the evolution. You can still hear it.
Yeah. You can.
Mm-hmm. I would say you could pretty much listen to any of our catalogs and you can hear the evolution.
Growth. Absolutely. Yeah. Lyrically and delivery-wise.
To where you're at this day. Like.
Yeah. What is that other song that we all 3 did together?
Besides Superpowers?
No, we got a ton of those songs.
Bad Love? Not Bad Love. Bad Luck.
No, that was just me and you.
Oh,
he just really likes it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song.
Look at me. We were
Look
all
at me.
Yeah. I will tell you that's when I really first started, like, just saying, fuck this. I'm going to do whatever I fucking want to do, and I'm going to do it.
Because of that song?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just the one that flipped the switch, I guess.
No, it's because the stupid look at me. Like, like the whole, like, singing.
Me. Look at me.
The shit I do at the end of the verse, of my verse I'm just like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to give it to them.
I had to push it so hard to do that shit.
Yeah no.
Like, just sing.
I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to fucking do this dumb shit. And I showed it to both of you and I'm like, I hope they like it. Like,
it's a song.
It's so fucking dumb, but it's fun.
It's there.
I'll always like that song. It's definitely not one that
is up on your list.
When someone was like, oh, you do music? I'm not like, oh, hey.
It doesn't make the greatest hits.
Check this out.
It's not going to make the greatest hits album, but it's memorable. It's memorable in that sense.
That's when I think the beginning of the beginning of my verse on that one, I fucking murder that shit. I fucking murdered it. Same with like Bread For It.
No, Bread For It was actually... When you came out with that song, it was an evolution. That was when evolution started happening.
I would say that was around the culmination of rap group.
Yeah,
was like
it really was. That was the first...
And it's, I mean, honestly, when I show people stuff, it's anything after the third embodied organics.
Yeah.
Like, I show them third embodied organics and on. Well,
Yeah.
I don't show them Early Bird. I don't show them my first album.
Why?
I show them the second and third.
Okay.
Early Bird, I don't know. Just like we were talking earlier, there's a lot of stuff on it I could have done better.
You gotta get started.
My first album, I can't play a single track from to this day, even though some of them I love, like Function. I've performed live a bunch of times.
I've heard that.
But when I go back and listen to it, it's so slow that I fall asleep listening to it. I'm like, oh God, I just want to rap more. Like, I should have rapped more on this beat. Like, I took the slow, relaxed, like,
you were still learning cadences, though. You were like, you were learning.
I wasn't.
You were learning syllable counts, and
I couldn't fit that many words in before. Now
who taught you syllable counts?
Syllable counts? Shit, that's a really good question. Syllable counting.
I actually didn't start paying attention to it until jazz. Once jazz entered the picture, I started kind of bringing it up. Because the way he would describe, like, listening to beats to me, he'd be like, you got to think about the cadence of what you would hear. So he'd be like, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, so like, and he's like, then you just got to fill syllables. And that's when I was like, oh, shit.
Literally every song I write now, I count out syllables, and I try to do, when I do it, I just like, okay, so there's 13 syllables in this verse. I'm going to do 14. And then I'm going back to 13. And then I'm going back to 14. And da-da-da-da-da. I get very technical with it.
So our whole first couple albums they're slow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The whole things are slow. You go back and listen to them, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
It sounded literally like they took the tempo and just slowed the whole album down. And we were comfortable with it. We wrote it.
Yeah, no, at that time in my head, it was not that slow.
No.
You go back and listen to it compared to a lot of the stuff we've done now, so slow.
Very slow. There was a moment, you asked me when I started counting syllables. It wasn't that I started counting syllables, it made me realize what counting syllables was and what it meant for recording.
Yeah.
It was when I first bought my first mixer and mic, put money into it, and got the studio started. I branched out immediately on the internet trying to find somebody who would rap with me that was in town. Okay. And I struck out for the most part, but the very only person that would even respond to me was Kaga the Ninja. And he came up to my apartment. Me and my buddy Blake were building this album that we were called the Northside Ninjas because we liked ninjas and shit like that. We had no idea what a juggalo was until we met Kaga.
Wait. How the hell do you not know who a juggalo is?
I knew
in Washington.
I knew who ICP was. I knew what a juggalo was. I didn't know what a juggalo did.
You didn't know they were ninjas?
And then Kaga the Ninja shows up in my apartment. Tattoos, juggaloed out.
Fucking
really nice. Kaga's still to this day one of the most stand-up artists I know. Mm-hmm. Really cool guy. I don't know. This dude sat there and goes, well, how you guys want to do this? And I was like, well, we'll sit here and listen to the beat and we'll write, and then whatever comes out, that's how we do it. We just write, just kind of like we do now, really. It's the same process. We had it back then. We just weren't as good. And he goes, well, I brought my notebook, and I've been listening to this while we were sitting here, and I got this verse I've never used that would fit.
What?
That would fit on this really well. And I go, well, let's hear it. Fuck it. Let's hear it. This motherfucker got on the mic, blew the fucking mic out the water 2 times in a row, perfect takes, nailed it both times, no redos, and it was perfect. And I was like, I don't think I can get on this track because you just killed it. Like, I've never written anything. I didn't know that that's what a bar was. And he goes, no, look, this is how it fits. And he showed you. He showed me. He didn't teach me. It wasn't like he sat there and schooled me on it. He just simply showed me what he was doing, and it just kind of fucking clicked. I was like, oh, you're hitting it, emphasizing it at the end of every bar.
It was an aha moment.
And then that's where you end your rhyme and continue with rhymes. And I was just like, boom. I get it now.
Do you do that when you listen to rap now? Like
do I
other
listen
artists?
to bars? Do I listen to the bar count?
Intensely, not like listen to bar count, but intensely listen to what their emphasis is, where they emphasize.
Every
where
single time. I'm only paying attention to the way they're delivering it and the recording. I don't give a fuck most of the time what they're saying. Really? Because I'm honestly never gonna quote them. Like, I rarely quote songs. I have trouble remembering songs in general.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just in general. I'm not somebody that can go to karaoke night and sing my favorite songs because I know them so well. I couldn't sing Sublime right now. It's my favorite fucking band of all time.
I remember, like, fucking, Smash Mouth.
Yeah, like...
the cheesiest crap.
I know, like, parts of choruses, and I get the gist of it, but I couldn't recite a single song by anybody else all the way through word for word. Not a single one.
What's that pizza bar that's downtown?
Pacific Ave?
No, downtown.
Oh, Rocky? Rocky Rococo?
No, it starts with the N.
No.
You're talking Monterey.
Monterey. So it's at the Monterey. My friend Crystal's like, hey, Joel, let's do karaoke. And I'm like, great. She's like, I know Eminem's one of your favorite artists. I played this song. And I'm like,
oh, God.
Fuck. I don't know any lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I don't listen to music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't listen to his lyrics and, like,
obsess over
it's
it.
like the best thing in the world.
That's how I feel about it.
Remember every lyric. The only fucking Eminem song I know is Forgot About Dre, and it's not even an Eminem song. It's a fucking
Dre song.
But
to that instance, though, I can tell you what albums sound like all the way through and like how they make me feel, the style it is. I can name all of that and break the song down for you, but I couldn't tell you all the lyrics. But that's the things that I was learning back then was like I didn't understand. I listened to rock music. I understood that there's choruses, verses, and bridges and all these things. I didn't know how to rap on them. I didn't know how you would write to that. And now I've listened to so many different styles, different ways. There's certain rappers, like, there's a track with, I want to say, like, Kendrick Lamar and somebody else. I don't remember all the lyricists on this track. But Future is on this track. Okay. And they're all going off lyrically. But he's like... at some point just loses like his concentration and is just like flop on my knob. Like come on, like he starts doing that and he's doing it with the auto-tune and he's like cracking his voice and shit, and I'm like, that's why I don't like you. Because that's not necessarily creative to me. That's lazy. You could have re-recorded that and came up with a better verse. But because you're fucking rich and on a track with fucking multi-million-dollar artists, you assume that we wanted to hear that.
You know Logic does that. He did it on Sriracha with is it Sriracha? With Joyner Lucas and Tech Nine?
Logic actually does have quite a few moments on his songs where I'm like, why?
Why the fuck did you do this, dude? Like, he fucking said, I'm supposed to be rapping fast because I'm with Tech Nine, but I'm not going to do it because I'm with Tech Nine, and I'm jealous because Joyner Lucas made a fucking killer fucking verse. And I'm just like, no, fucking try, bitch. Don't be a fucking bitch. Don't. And he was a bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He also has done tracks where like it has a political message behind it, like the black white thing. That's something that Logic is a really good artist to speak on because he's bold.
He's a good artist. I'm not saying he's not a good artist. He's great. He's a great artist.
Selfie in the middle of the podcast.
What the
fuck? But anyways, Logic has a song where at the end of the song, he's on it with a couple other people, but at the end of the song, at the end of his verse, he just starts going off about N-word this and about how people are calling him N-word this, and it's basically a story about how he grew up being black and white, and everybody would be like, well, why are you acting so white? And then he would act more black, and they'd be like, why are you acting black? You're not black.
He's trying to get away.
But he's also yelling it into the microphone, and it ruined the track for me. I was like, you had a political message, you killed the verse, but at the end of the verse, you just started screaming at us about how, like, and he's dropping the F or the N bomb, and it's just like F and I'm just like, I get it. You had a real strong message, but in the studio, you committed to that. The guy who put money on this track with you probably was looking for a slightly different...
No. You know what happened? He said, I'm Logic. I'm already famous. Everybody's going to listen to it.
Yes. And a lot of artists do that. I feel like too many artists do that. For instance, we all have a very low budget when it comes to paying for artists to be on a track with us.
Zero.
Literally rock bottom.
I'm not paying you a dime.
And also, I'm not going to charge people a shit ton of money for me to get on their track. But if somebody asked me to get on a track, and if they gave me $5, I'm putting my heart in that track, and it's going to be a good track, or decent, or listenable. I'm not going to be at the end of that track going blah 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 blah, just like bullshit shit. I'm going to put my heart into that. And if I start making millions of dollars and start giving you shitty tracks, you better fucking call me out. Because fuck you, Future. Just saying.
And any other rapper that does that.
I'm not going to say fuck you, Logic, because Logic has some really good messages behind his music.
No, he has good music. He has good music, but like some of the shit that he says, and like when he's like, I'm not going to give a fuck. And he literally says that in the track, and I'm just like...
Mm-hmm. But then again, you got artists like Eminem who literally make their career on saying some fucked up shit.
Well, Eminem tries in every little thing he does.
He tries. That's the facts.
That's the facts. He puts in 190% effort.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, easily.
That motherfucker, he's got...
And it literally goes full circle all the way back to when we first brought up Eminem. He puts a ton of effort into his tracks. Too much effort.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. You got to find artists that you like the balance in.
Yeah.
And that's actually something that I credit all of the artists that I work with. We all have a balance to our music. We're not all leaning in a certain direction that's unpleasant, or like we don't have those aspects to our...
We're going to give you everything we got no matter what. We're not going to fucking... Yeah. We're not going to say, oh, this person sucks, so I'm just going to give you a
There's tracks I still have never recorded to that you've given me.
Yeah.
Because I can't find it?
Oh, no, I can find it. I have it. I just, I never felt like...
It was right.
Well, I had, like, my heart into actually...
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't find the correct verse. Yeah. You can't find that line, dude.
And I would prefer that you sit on it. I really would prefer that you sit on a beat like that than just push me some bullshit. So now that we've had a discussion about your growth as an artist and where you've been, where you're going, and all this thing, like, what do you have to say about all this music shit, bro? Like, we got to know you a little bit. Like, what are you trying to do for people? Like
I'm just trying to make good music.
Projects coming out?
Yeah, you got some stuff coming out? Like,
I'm always writing. I'm always writing. No matter what, I still write to this fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah. It is good. I have 4 or 5 that I'm writing right now. I'm trying to come out with a solo album. We've talked about a rap group album. I don't know where that's going yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to focus more on like just putting out fire.
Yeah. Just honing it down.
Just fucking drenching people in some fucking wet ass shit, dude.
Just keep making tracks and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
So it's not really that you have like a set path right now, but you have. It's kind of like you've hit the crest and you're about to hit the open field. Like you're about to just hit your stride right now.
Yeah. Well, this last 2-3 years, I've been finding myself as a person, as an artist, as a pretty much where I'm going in life. So I've been like putting those puzzle pieces together, but right now I'm just working on these songs, and they'll be coming out. You can go down to my freaking SoundCloud, Joey Ortiz. You can go to the rap group page and listen to that shit.
Oh, you can catch him on my page too, man.
I'm on a couple of the EO tracks, and Bueno and I have a couple tracks together also. And then